Today, I'm going to teach you exactly how I landed my first graphic design role with zero experience. Fast forward a few years later, now I run my own little design studio. Last year, I hired my first full-time graphic designer, and so now I'm on the other side of hiring, so I know exactly what people are looking out for, what creative directors are looking out for, and what it takes to craft a killer graphic design portfolio. I'm Annie, I'm a renowned web designer and founder of Empty Studio, and I landed my first graphic design job in a kind of an unconventional way. I landed when I was 15. In our high school, we had this thing called Work Experience Week, where we had to go intern somewhere in a real life setting for 5 days. And I wanted to go into architecture at first, but I knew that there was this guy from the year up above who interned at this graphic design studio, so all I did is email them and say, hey, I'm Annie, I'm in high school right now, and we need to do this work experience week. Is it okay if I come do it at your studio? I love design, and I really want to know what it's like behind the scenes. Really appreciate it. That's literally all it took. And they said, yep, no worries, which week did you want to come in? And they gave me some really fun roles to do, like swatch Pantone colors, create collages, create the business cards, and all it takes is really just reaching out and emailing people. If people would give a 15-year-old high schooler a chance, they will definitely give you a chance if you have the next thing, which is a killer portfolio. So what do you need in a killer portfolio? One thing is amazing work that ties to what you are looking for as a designer. So if it's packaging design, if it's branding projects, if it's website, if it's app, get specific because you want to apply in a way that is targeted. Say I want to go into branding. You apply to a branding studio that focuses on branding, or you know that there is a strong alignment and you're going to get so much more cut through. So curate your projects based on a specific niche inside graphic design. So for me, I curate it based off branding. I love branding. Branding and website kind of goes hand in hand. So all my projects had branding, so logos, colors, how I use fonts, and then mockups. Mockups brings a portfolio to life a bajillion times. Go on places like Envato, or there's Cloud Mockup that I love, where you can purchase it for a small amount. It's an investment, guys. You have to spend money on this thing that is going to kickstart your career. A mock-up makes a huge difference. You can design a poster and just present it as that, or you can mock it up in a really professional scene and it'll elevate it 10 times or more. All of my portfolio pieces now, the things I deliver to clients, my brand guidelines, everything is mocked up so they can see what it'll look like in the real world. And you want the person who hired you to see what you've got, that your stuff, your work isn't amateurish. It can exist in the real world. And your portfolio, of course, you don't need real work to begin with. That's a catch-22, right? That's a paradox. Everyone wants 2 years of experience at least up front, but where are you going to get that 2 years of experience? And that is just by creating fake projects. You fake it till you make it, but you're not faking it in the sense that you've got the skill set. You're developing the skill set first. If anything, graphic design is an industry where it's the easiest to get started, because as long as you're developing the skills, no one can question your experience. You can develop that experience yourself at home by creating these mock projects. And then what you can also do to not kind of waste all the effort that you're putting into this is turn those products into templates and sell them. So for example, you can create social media templates for a fake brand and you can sell them on Etsy at the same time. And that could build another passive source of revenue for you. If you're doing a brand identity, you probably design business cards. Turn that into a Canva template, list it on Etsy. There you go, there's another one. So have these ways of, kind of developing your expertise, honing in your skill set, learning the softwares that you need, but also try to build a little archive of projects whilst trying to make a little passive income on the side. That's also a really good way to just make the most out of your time. Another way is to create an archive of work online, and you can either post on Instagram or post on YouTube. I'd recommend YouTube is probably the best way. I know a lot of channels on here. Anya Design is one that I follow, and she has amassed a lot of following, and I watch her videos as well. And all she did is she just documented her journey of trying to become a freelance graphic designer, and she's kind of blew up pretty quickly. She's even gotten clients from YouTube, and that is the value of putting your work out there. And you don't need to start off being a professional. You can start off just by sharing your journey, learning, and then amassing a community around you, sharing a passion, and clients will be able to find you as well. Say if you have those 3 to 4 projects that you're really proud of, that aligns with what you want to do, that you think will really wow potential studios who's going to hire you, the next step is actually present it in a professional portfolio. And what I use is I like to use Webflow or Framer. These are the 2 website platforms that is kind of leading the industry and also friendly for designers to use. And if you ever think about getting into web design, these are the 2 platforms that you need to learn as a designer. In a separate video, I actually break down what the perfect portfolio looks like, and you can check it out somewhere up here. I will link it for you. Essentially, it's not just a collage of work. It needs to be strategic, treat it as a landing page, showcase who you are, your projects, and ideally the processes that comes along with it. And your dream job might not be to work with a studio. Your dream design career might be to freelance for yourself. So that portfolio is really good specifically for that purpose as well. How to not just sell yourself to potential employers, but to potential clients, and how to position yourself as a premium option. Let me share with you another real life experience of how I got my first real design job. So fast forward, now I was 15 and I interned, and then I went to design school. In my second year of design school, or maybe it was a third year, we had to start doing internships, and there was a guest speaker who came in to our university, and he was a friend of our year coordinator, and she invited him to come do a guest lecture talking about his studios, the type of projects that they work on, the design process in their studio. And I knew I had to find an internship around this time, and I had a class in the out year coordinator's class, so she teaches like publication. So I just emailed her. I was like, hey, I really love the studio that came in to speak to us. It really inspired me. I was wondering, would you be able to put in a word for me to say to connect us, because I really would love to do a short internship at their studio. And she was the kindest and sweetest person, so of course she said yes. She messaged him and said, hey, one of our students, Annie, would love to have an internship opportunity. I'll leave you two to connect. So then I reached out to him. Of course he said yes, and the rest is history. I started with a short internship, which turned into a contract role, and then I stayed there for a bit longer. And that was where I learned that even as much as I respected the agency, respected the team, as much as I wanted to love that experience, unfortunately, I am much more of a free spirit when it comes to what my actual dream day in a life looked like. I didn't want to commute to a studio. The studio was pretty cold, to be honest. That was another thing. I was like freezing every day, and I just wanted to be able to choose my own project, choose my own hours. I didn't necessarily get a choice in any of that, working as a junior designer for an agency. So then I started taking on clients here and there. I'll film a separate video covering how I got my first freelance design client if you're interested. But essentially being aware of what that dream job looks like, because it might not be an employer-employee relationship. It might be going out there and kind of going after clients and being able to enjoy the fruits of working for multiple companies and multiple brands and actually helping businesses start from the ground up. So if you found this helpful and you really want to learn how to make consistent revenue as a designer, especially in the freelance realm, you can check out our 10K Masterclass. This is where I dive into exactly how I monetize my passion for design, how I went from making $0 to over 100K in a year consistently, and I'm going to share with you everything. So scan the QR code on the left right here, and I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, I know you're also going to love this one on the left. If you enjoy listening on the go, we also have a podcast version called the Brand Creator Podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!